to make a concert for the scene is a great idea.
There's lots of beatboxers who are performing shows more than doing battles, but it's all happening out of the scene.
6 years ago, 80+% of the best beatboxers would battle. Now, less than half, far less than half.
Sometimes I feel like we're losing people. Recent examples for me is Codfish. He drops so many amazing tracks. We not get to see it live. In rapping, it was also a big thing to do battles, but it shifted. Performing rap music and creating music is way more successful right now than doing rap battles.
The progression to allow performance to hold strength is that make the performances exciting. People like the battles because they're exciting. Those excitement levels can be replicated in shows.
Yo, bro, how you doing? You good?
Hey man, you good?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. Yeah, I'm in my new studio right now in Berlin. Bit messy, but it's getting there.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, yours looks also nice. Is it at your place?
Yeah, it's my studio.
Wow. Yeah, with the blue light.
I wish I could show you more, but the camera's stuck.
Yeah, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Looks cozy to me.
Yeah, it's good vibes.
Yeah, it's like a nice environment to get creative.
Yeah. In fact, I got an idea. One sec. This will help see a little bit more of the studio.
Sick.
Okay, wait.
The old school camera tricks.
Yeah, so we got the sofa over there. Storage is somewhere up there. We got a feature wall, some sound paneling, and that will do, I think. Wait, yeah, this didn't work as good as I was hoping.
Yeah, so why are we here right now? So I invited you to the Vocal Masters. You said yes to come there. You will be performing next to people like Codfish, Middle School, EOG, Spiderhorse, Footbox G, Sin, Brass, Mr. Wobbles, Dan, Christoph, MOM, and Bauer. That's
a cool lineup, man.
That's the lineup for right now. We're still looking into maybe inviting a bit more, depending on how many tickets we sell. But yeah, why I invited you for this chat is I wanted to start to talk about like the idea why we actually started to do this. And like my perspective was there's lots of battles out there. Still like since Corona, there's, I would say a little bit less, but the majority of beatbox events are still battles. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I felt like the battles have its place. And it's really nice for newcomers or for competitive beatboxers. But I was missing something that is for beatboxers that want to step out of the battle scene and explore more of the musical side of their beatboxing. And I wanted to know what's your thoughts on this idea.
I would say that there's a void for performance in beatbox. It all just depends on what you want to do with the beatboxing, really, as an artist. As we are here at this day and age, seems like top level beatboxers have different intentions with beatboxing. So some of them might want to perform at shows, still just beatboxing. It's quite crazy. That's extremely advanced to still be able to take a concert on like that.
Yeah, just
that's unbelievable.
That's it.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. But it sounds to me like that there is a really good gap for people to turn up and listen to top beatboxers that want to do that, especially catering for a beatbox audience, beatbox crowd. The scene, the beatbox scene, to make a concert for the scene is a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the point for me. Like there's lots of beatboxers who are performing shows more than doing battles, but it's all happening outside of the scene. Like in the scene, we're not witnessing all these amazing things. Like, for example, for me, a good example is Reeves One. He's kind of not really active in the scene, although he's doing still a lot of beatboxing. And sometimes I feel like we're losing people after they stop battling.
I think that's a good point. I like that. Yeah, typically, when you get to a certain level at being able to beatbox, if you want to perform and expand your career live, then yeah, you kind of take to your own devices. And so you miss out on on people joining into events that the scene could be kind of locked into. So that's a good point.
Yeah, and like also like I would say recent examples for me is like Shogo or Codfish. Like I think Shogo was supposed to be at GBB 2021, but then he decided to not go. I don't know what was the reason, but it's fine. But yeah, like for me it was kind of like, man, I want to see this guy on stage. And same with Codfish. Since 2019, I didn't really see him live anymore, and he drops so many amazing tracks, but we not get to see it live, right? It's kind of a pity. And same with you. Well, like your last major battle was also 2019, was it?
Yeah. At the GBB.
Yeah.
Last time it was a live battle. Yeah. You make a good point. You know, each time we're talking about this, it's got to be said that as far as I'm concerned, or my philosophy on all of this, is that beatbox is an instrument. That's the only way I look at it at this point. It's just an instrument, the easiest one. Like you don't need to do anything. You've got it there.
Yeah.
So it just depends how you want to play. It. Maybe those guys don't want to play it on stage. I can understand that. That's not my overwhelming burning desire all the time is to perform on the stage, but it does get at me when I haven't for a while.
Yeah.
So I get excited for things like this, which will be really fun. But yeah, like there's a lot of the top guys are doing a lot of social media stuff. That might be how they want to use beatbox, but for the ones that want to perform still with beatbox, that's a really good place to do it. In Switzerland in May.
Yeah, at Vocal Masters. Yeah. Can I ask you, like, what was your intention that you said, okay, I'm done now with battling? Or are you ever going to be done with battling?
I think you make a legacy in a competitive scene. It's a battle. So you're building your own legacy, really. And when I look at that like legacy that's been created for what I did for battling, it looks complete. But I haven't said no to battling. I would still battle under the right conditions and terms. I would, first and foremost, it would need to be financially worth doing, because that's a lot of material that I've creation material that I've created for it. But that actually, I say that's first and foremost. That isn't. That's a part. The conditions need to be great. It needs to be under the right conditions, the right people involved, the right setup, a good place, a good concept. Everything runs good, and there's still a passion for me there, a ferocity to show that I can dominate the opponent. That's still in me.
Yeah.
But not as much, just because it's always been compositions for me. It's always been tracks. If you watch anything from my past, you can see the phases of me trying to get to that stage, trying to compose with a worse singing voice and less discipline in the structure. But now I am happier, still improving. I just want to complete all my compositions and let the world hear them. The way I want to play the instrument of beatbox is as an instrument, a prime instrument to make songs.
Yeah.
So that seems like it's been a priority for a few years, is to perform the songs.
Yeah.
That people can enjoy if they do.
Yeah.
I will say though, to contrast that, because I've done a lot of battling over the years, it's kind of in me to design a style like that. So I'm still designing rounds, you could say, songs that aren't aesthetic to me. They don't represent me as an artist, but they are way more built for battling. So I'm basically in this studio just training for battles that I'm not entering. Like, that's still happening. Yeah.
So your thought process when you create a routine, it's like, okay, is this something innovative that could win me around?
Yeah, I think most of the battling is a mental thing, mentality. And I've done so many evolutions in my head in theoretical battles of how I would battle people, because the skill, at the moment, if you was subcategorizing beatboxing, skill level is spiking, and it has been for a couple of years in comparison to other key fields. So, for example, the skillfulest beats may not be the best at the moment. That's definitely something I'm finding when I'm judging these battles. It means when I create a set, it has intentions. I think my most exciting, or the ideas I like the most, are more track based things that you'll see in a song released with beatbox. And then sometimes I can use the keywords skill, aggression, or original performance factors that I would call battle sets that would probably be best in a battle.
Understand. Yeah, you're bringing up a good point with like skill versus let's say perfection. Like for example, and I think one of the first beatboxers was Codfish, who was focusing more on perfecting a sound rather than exploring what still is there to invent. Like he was using sounds that were already there, but he was perfecting it to a level that most beatboxers didn't even think about. You know, like having perfect pitch on the throat bass and working on the texture of it, and evolving his voice to a level that it sounds like a professional singer, not just good enough for a battle.
Yeah,
and
I would say, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, and so my point is, I think battling helps finding, like, innovating beatboxing, like finding people and pushing people to the limits to find new sounds. But what kind of gets lost is like seeing the path of like these beatboxers creating these sounds and perfecting them to a level that it sounds pleasing to a non-beatbox audience.
Yeah, I think it's about the approach. You say skill versus perfection. I understand it. I think is a better way to refine it, because there's a perfectionism in the skill. You can make the skill perfect.
Yeah.
And that's a extremely well-built combo to win battles. I think the underlying issue is, well, I guess you can call it an issue, but it's the past. The battling has been the prime method of performing your beatboxing to the world. If you want to show that off, where'd you start with a guitar? You've got to build yourself as an artist, and you've got to try and get on those small bars, build yourself up like that.
Yeah.
And it's all a historic thing to each method of music. And in beatboxing, it's been historic that the best way to get out to the world is to battle.
Yeah.
I think with more musicians being spawned in the beatboxing world, which means more beatboxers are musically inclined and want to show the instrument off, it means that battling is more specific. It means that less musical beatboxers are battling, because it was never really a thing that they needed or wanted to do, maybe, to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's a void for performance. I would like to think on behalf of upcoming beatboxers that soon they can look up or look forward into the future and draft goals that aren't just win the battle. Because if there is concert events and show events, then there'll be young or new beatboxers that might have a goal in their head that I want to perform on that big show doing my beatbox. I would assume that up to now and previous, they're typically inspired to win the biggest battle champion. And that's the overwhelming goal with beatbox.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, true. I think we can compare this to the rap scene. Like the rap scene was always kind of like 10 or 20 years ahead of the beatbox scene. And in rapping, it was also a big thing to do battles. Like we still have, I can speak for Germany. In Germany, we still have lots of rap battles, but it shifted. Like performing rap music and creating music is way more successful right now than doing rap battles. But I think it was different like 20 to 30 years ago. Like a rapper had to have the ability to battle someone else, to diss someone else. Like this was like the big goal, to be better than the other rappers. And there's still some rappers that have this drive in themselves to be better than the other. But I think the majority is just focusing on creating great music. And I see this. I see that this can also happen for beatboxing. That there's something evolving in the scene where there's lots of beatboxers that just focusing on creating great music, and the scene. And there's a scene for this also.
Yeah, I like that. I think the rap thing is a good reference. It was more successful to battle than to create music because it was less worldwide acceptable for rapping to be like a universal piece of music back then.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think of Eastern American rappers. I think of B.I.G. or Ghostface or Gangstar. That's my favorite. Gangstar, Love Guru and Gangstar.
Yeah.
But artists like that broke out, hitting the charts or making hits with rapping.
Mm-hmm.
And then people just had to accept it because it was so good.
Yeah.
And might happen with beatbox. People will just have to accept. It's dependent on what all the talented beatboxers do with their beatboxing.
Yeah.
Like how are you going to incorporate that? For me, it's been great, but it's also been feeling restricted for a long time because I like to rap and sing,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't do it all at the one time. So the times of me on a stage with a mic, I don't think it will ever leave because it's fun. I like doing that. But I can imagine a bigger evolution soon.
In your style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's hard to tie it all into the mouth. It's very restricted. Like really restricted.
Yeah, true.
But
at the same time, like the restriction can make you more creative, no?
Yeah.
That was from
Yeah.
That's always for me the more like I was looping for a few years and I still do sometimes, but looping for me always felt like I was overwhelmed with all the possibilities because I'm used to just using one microphone.
Yeah, like the thing with beatboxers is we kind of like unconventionally backwards, which means that we design production through beatbox. And then maybe eventually we turn to bigger tools, like softwares to design the sets, which is kind of backwards, where you might want to learn the objective tools first. It makes me think beatbox is even cooler because people are producers with the mouth before producing, which is cool. But yeah, it does hit certain restrictions. You're right. It does. It forces you to be more creative. I fortunately got to the top level with just beatboxing. Mm-hmm. Now you're trying to design it to find new tools of getting out what you want. I have a lot of fun beatboxing.
Yeah,
I have a lot of fun layering it. Yeah, it's fun, and I think it will be nice to see that variety in these shows.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you mentioned, like it used to be different. So like it used to be like beatboxers would cover other songs, like finished productions, and they would try to imitate it with beatboxing. And I feel like right now it's the opposite way. Like the top level beatboxers, they're creating their own tracks. And now there's producers that are interested in creating like a production, like a produced music. Like for example, he's taking so many tracks, like he's taking routines of beatboxers and creates electronic music out of it. And I think this will be also more popular in the future. But yeah, but the thing is like like it shifted, it changed. Like it used to be from imitating music to inspiring music with beatboxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's again, it's all it. I guess there's typical trends, which makes you make a good point. But if we look at beatbox as an instrument, you can see, like, again, everybody has a different intention, right? If you treat it like a piano, let's say, pianists aspire to do what the best pianists in the history have done, which means people might try to do a beat I've made, because that might be their goal with beatbox, is to recreate some of the best, hardest compositions in beatboxing. And then there's using the instrument to replicate other songs, like the piano version of Ed Sheeran's song, or exactly, so the beatbox version of a produced song. And now, because there's beatboxers that are talented as top level other instruments, now you're right, there's producers, or there's woodwind arrangements of a song. I seen a note sheet created for one of my sets, Sing a Little Harmony, and really? it kind of passes forward your idea, where it's like, now we're good enough to make a set, a composition that other instruments want to imitate. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is cool. We are definitely behind. For example, if you paired up the best beatboxers on earth next to the best guitar players, God, we're crap. We are crap, and that's because they've had to sit there with these objective strings for way more decades. But that's still cool.
But we also have to keep in mind they were like the top level pianists. They started practicing at the age of 5, and they had lessons every week, maybe even every day, and they had someone practice with who's like already on top. And we beatboxers, we were nerding out. We're just watching YouTube videos, trying to figure out how to do this pattern. And like didn't have so many mentors. It just started now that there's beatboxers available for workshops, but it's not as streamlined, so it's way harder to learn as fast as some top level instrumentalists. So
it is super, super hard. It's climbing and climbing, raising and raising. I would say that there is a massive, massive amount of beatboxing practice in the world right now, like millions and millions of people that do it, which is cool. But the thing is, what is available to inspire, that's the big thing. Like there has been Jimi Hendrix, who inspired so many people to develop guitar playing, for example. And then you've got all the best artists in other instruments and other fields. Yeah. And that
inspires
Michael Jackson
the
world
for singing.
Exactly. For example, or performing songs, creating a unique identity in every song is what I would say he probably got a lot of people doing. So it's kind of up to, it's natural. It's just natural progression with beatboxing, but there needs to be artists, there needs to be battlers, there needs to be everything that the instrument can show to make more people inspired to beatbox, I guess. Yeah. Because at the moment, I would still say the most exciting feature of beatboxing might be battling. I don't think battling has been up to scratch recently, because I don't think there's been the best events around. And a lot of the top biggest level beatboxers, put it this way, 6 years ago, 80+% of the best beatboxers would battle. Now, far less than half of the best ones are battling. Yeah. And that's because of what we said. You have to kind of go fend for yourself and do your thing. This keeps highlighting your event. This chat keeps highlighting the event, because it will show high level performances of beatbox without a battle concept. So my advice to that, or the progression to allow performance to also hold strength, is that make the performances exciting. People like the battles because they're exciting. Those excitement levels can be replicated in shows, and then people will be buzzing like a maniac to see the shows. I think they already are. I think people are already getting really buzzing over shows.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool.
Like so you were just transitioning really flawlessly into the vocal masters. So yeah, I think like I was witnessing lots of great showcases at battles recently. Like for example, I saw MOM at the European Champs, where I was kind of like, man, I enjoyed this performance more than the battles actually. Like I found way more inspiring parts in the show rather than in the battling. But maybe that's also me because I'm focusing more on performing right now than battling. And also like people like Rogwave, River Collapse, they recently did some great performances. Footbox G and Supernova Middle School, they improved really much in performing. Or Gene for me is a prime example. Gene kind of also explored the thing how to perform like in a hybrid way, DJing and doing solo beatboxing, and solo beatboxing still is like the highlight of it, rather than just like I would think if you as a beatboxer would perform like your productions and then do solo beatboxing, the solo beatboxing kind of would suffer because it's so much more reduced. But when I saw Gene, the opposite happened. Like it was really nice to hear the productions, but as soon as he would grab the microphone and just do solo beatboxing, it was so exciting, you know, because it was kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like the life experience. Everything you hear right now is just happening right now. You're never going to witness it the same exact way ever again. And especially in a time where like sampling and making music with AI is getting easier and more accessible, something that is completely happening live is such a crazy experience for me, actually.
I like that point of the AI. It's scary, that future, because what will it take? You're right, a human to perform beatbox is a powerful skill. And I would go... I'm easily able to say this. I'm easily able to share my opinion that beatbox could be the most surreal experience to ever watch live.
Yeah.
It's right up there from everything I've experienced in my life anyway.
Yeah.
All the music I've watched, all the physical capabilities of a human being. I have to say, when beatboxing is done right, it might be the best and most surreal experience you can ever see live.
Yes.
Because it's a humongous variety of imitation of instruments. And then you include vocalization, you include the maturity of the performer transmitting the sounds to the stage. For example, in my practice, I spend hours of mental thought about how things will translate onto a microphone so that the experience is even stronger live. Yeah. So I'm catering my show for that, for the people. We are missing production in beatboxing, which means hearing people's songs and composed where they just do maybe one layer live. That's missing because that's an incredible experience when you have your favorite artists in the world, music artists. You love their songs, they're catchy to you, and you get to hear them perform it live. Mm-hmm. But there's always going to be something surreal about taking a mic and doing it all. It's unbelievable to the non-beatbox ear. There is no chance of being able to do that on the spot. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And the right performer can make it a surreal experience. Maybe the best.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be, well, maybe it will be humongous. Mm-hmm. The AI thing's scary. You're right. It's like, I think it's scary because, you know, we was talking about production earlier. I think this will sound hard to believe now, but I wouldn't give it too much time before there were softwares where you did a beat and it would turn into a production masterpiece. So if I went to the microphone, I think there'll be tools that have already designed that in a DAW and now created a whole track, a produced track.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But then the thing is, the more it gets easier to do the technical side, the more important it will get to be the creative to create the idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. and you'll never know its origins until the best way is to express it on a mic live again.
Yes.
So it's a really powerful thing. Yeah. It's in terms of beatboxing, I think that the solo beatboxing, or sorry, no, a better way to put it, performing beatboxing live reigns supreme. Because it strips back everything. And even if a robot learned to beatbox, it still wouldn't be the same experience, maybe.
Because the robot can't express feelings as much as a human can.
It doesn't have a respiratory system as well to juggle. So it's less human. Yeah.
Exactly. It's human beatboxing at the end.
Yeah.
we kind of cut out the human out of beatboxing, but this is the exciting part. It's human.
Yeah.
maybe one day when AI taking over and you can't see the difference anymore between like AI productions and like human productions, we will call it human beatboxing again. Because there will be maybe AI beatboxing.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Anyways, so we kind of digging deep into this topic. For me, really exciting to see at the Vocal Masters is having artists on stage having the time to perform the tracks, not having a time limit. Of course, there's always limitations, but you can explore on things. You don't have to go crazy all the time because there's no judges that will tell you, I don't like this, I don't like that, because at the end of the day, it's just pure expression, I think. And for me, this is like really exciting to see what will happen because of the freedom that you will have on stage. And even like for me, when I see a showcase at a battle, it still feels competitive, because whenever a judge comes on stage to show his to make a showcase, I always feel like the judges have the pressure to show, I still have it, I still could be able to compete. And afterwards people would talk about it. Oh man, his showcase was so good, he could still be able to battle. You know what I mean?
I can relate and understand that. I think that's a good point.
Like the showcases are still competitive at battles.
Yeah, it's tough to release and relax. It's true. It all comes down to that instrument thing I'm talking about. Like honestly, because people are trying to perform it to a high skill in that scenario. You're right. And then if you're relaxed and you've got no time preference, how do you want to deliver it? Like there's a lot of composers in that lineup you said, which is cool. And there's a lot of skillful beatboxers in that lineup. So there's a huge variety. It's going to be fun. And a lot of peaks of emotion will be hit from the crowd.
Yeah. What can we expect from you performing at the Vocal Masters?
So it's a little while away from this chat. And you can definitely expect my classic style. What you already seen from me. There's all the songs that I've made that at least my fan base will know. You'll hear some. There's loads, but there's not time for all. But you'll hear some, and probably hear some new ones too with solo beatboxing.
Yeah.
I'm working on arrangements at the moment, and I just need to see how the next few months look for me to find out what my entire show will be filled with. But it will be a new advanced experience for my show. So it'll be exciting regardless. And even if I'm up there just with a mic again, don't worry, I will make it go crazy for a while of me and the mic.
Yeah. Dope. That sounds great. Yeah. For me, also interesting would be, so lots of people asking, will there be some special things happening at the event? And for me, would be interesting, like, besides the shows, what would you love to see there? Maybe not only as an artist, but also like as a fan. Like, what would you love to see at the event like this?
I think lectures or chats with some of the performers who have humongously different opinions with beatboxing. Again, it being an instrument, everyone plays it differently.
Yeah.
There's ones that are going to attempt to make entire songs stood there with a microphone. There's going to be probably ones that turn up with softwares to deliver their layered music. there's going to be ones that might do other people's songs imitated with their beatboxing, which is a crazy skill in itself. So to hear them chat, probably from a crowd point of view, from the live experience, I think it could be really cool to listen to some of their, some of the artists talk and maybe like learn a thing or two from what they have to say as well.
So you mean more like workshops or?
Yeah, possibly. Just, a place where you can listen to the guy, the person rant about it.
That's a great idea, actually. Yeah, we should do that. I'm gonna talk to Dario. We still have time to prepare this.
It could be cool to have a section where you allow the crowd have a moment on that stage, just a moment. I don't know how you could pull that off, but I think it would, if you are a beatboxer yourself and you go to that event.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got like experience and capability, then it's always fun to just jump up on the stage and give it a go, you know, and like do a little bit of a set. So maybe if there was a fun little mini chance question mark that could be a possibility from the crowd perspective, that could be something exciting for them.
Yeah.
Like an aspiring great beatboxer in the crowd, and there's some method of they might be on the stage and they do a minute or something.
Yeah.
People love it. And then they go home and then work on their hobby of beatbox to get to the point of doing a big show.
Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine like every artist has his like he chooses someone from the crowd or someone is at the event and he'd be like, yo, like in between his show. So I got a guy today with me. He's really excited to perform for you guys. May I allow him to perform for a minute or two? You know, and then people are like, yeah, let's go. And then you announce him and then he smashes the stage and
that's cool. That's actually sick.
Right?
Yeah. That's some fun. Like that's some fun concept.
Like Barrywam actually does this whenever they perform at a certain city. They look around if there's a beatboxer living there in the city, and then they ask them to perform in between their set.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I also did this in. It was in Nuremberg in South Germany. They reached out and I went there with Beard. And we both were performing for 2 minutes. And it was sick because it was the Barrywam crowd, you know, like 3,000 people. And they hyping them up. Yeah, there's a German champion and the Dutch champion. They're crazy. Are you ready to hear some crazy beatboxing, blah, blah. And they're also standing around us and hyping people up, you know. And it was so dope. And for me, it was such a sick experience because, performing with like such a crazy band and in front of such a insane crowd that all is there because they love Barrywam. That was so dope, and I think this could be amazing also at the Vocal Masters if like maybe not every act, but whoever wants to, you know, he can invite someone on stage.
It's a cool idea, yeah. I mean, for sure, there should be no boundaries to that. Whatever the performer wants to do for their show. Yeah, it's a good idea though.
Like imagine we have like every artist has like his own wildcard thing, and then he'd be like, oh,
the wildcard competition come up in my show.
Yeah. Like it's funny. Like you know how The Voice. You know the show The Voice.
Yeah,
and then the judges can pick who they want to invite in their team.
That's a cool idea.
And then you have wild cards, cool. And then like every artist can choose like one guy. Like, oh, I love this guy. I want to take this guy.
That's a cool idea. Yeah. I mean, you got time maybe to try and think of a couple of concepts.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I think whatever happens, even with all these ideas, it's going to be a really good show.
Yeah.
I think people should definitely turn up.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to conclude my what I'll bring, it will be anything I've created with beatbox. It'll be all my compositions.
Yeah,
that's how I use the instrument. Just to make that loud and clear. Yeah. I love to compose.
Man, I'm so excited to see a performance. Like I think the only time I saw a real performance of like a real show was at GBB 2021 when you did the thing where like your history of beatboxing
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
really liked that. It was really,
Cheers,
really
man.
lovable. Yeah, so and it was so exciting, and it was such a different perspective on your style, because usually I see you destroying people on stage.
Yeah.
But there was kind of like, yeah, you used some old routines, but it was so refreshing to hear that. Like some I even forgot before that you would do that, but like from the really past, when I remember when you won the wild card for the world champs, I think it was 2000. What was it, 15?
Yeah. So that vid would have been in 14, I think.
Yeah. Or like
stuff.
the times when I remember when you were battling in Wales. You remember that, the Cardiff Beatbox battle?
My God! Wow.
Yeah.
We go back. Wow. We go back. That is some old ass battling back there. That's 10 years ago next year.
Yes. Yeah. That was with Sid FX, Freddie Beats. I was there. You were there.
Yeah. That was also Frosty, Epos,
Yeah.
Grey Cloud. They were even doing that.
Yeah. That was
crazy stuff.
That was crazy. Yeah, and stuff from back then. You know, like when I heard your old stuff, I was. I was there. I was in 2013, 14, you know, hearing that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're right. That's a cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of those beats were exactly designed to battle, because that was my performance intention. Right now the intention is to just improve my compositions. That's my main focus with the beatboxing, is to make my sets as good as possible. And there are so many of them, Madox, so many that I'm trying to wrangle them all together. Oh man, it's a nightmare. There's 100 loops there. and then there's like nearly 100 on that one.
Yeah.
And they are like layered ideas.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I've got all of the ones people know that I'd like to release a better version of.
Yeah.
And I'm just grafting.
Yeah.
But for me, the thing that matters is I love my songs and I want to show the people.
Yeah, dope. So is there also something coming from DJ Low?
I think
is he invited?
It's best to say that I think it's best to say that DJ Low is a loop station alias. So if I was a battler on the loop station, then it might be that.
Okay.
So maybe not.
Keep DJ Low for the next time.
Yeah.
Invite him next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like to think of beatbox at this point as a tool, a very, very useful tool to design music, and sometimes even the final instrument. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I love what I just said. That is exactly how I wanted to deliver it. It is a really effective tool to design music. Sometimes it's also the final instrument that's used.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I like that. That's good.
That's great.
Because some of my songs, the final piece is still me in the mic.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to reproduce some layers in a software, or allow myself to layer all of the layers into a full composition. Sometimes, though, the best version of some of the songs is just me in the mic.
Yeah.
For example, some of the classics. I haven't been able to recreate them any better than the way me and the mic.
Yeah. It's supposed to be just you and the mic for these tracks. Yeah. Yeah. And it's great.
You can say that.
It's great to explore it, right? To try, make a production out of it. And then at one point you'd be like,
yes,
the best version is still the solo beatboxing.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good point. Like it. Yeah. Nice point. I've tried with some of the songs to advance it. And the truth is, normally they become better when I add layers. That's normally a trend. They are better, but they're not better at it's not better executed. It's not better to deliver it to people with layers. Because how? I have to take time to add layers into a loop station, or turn up with a USB and the layer in. So sometimes it's just the best experience to give it solo.
Yeah.
Some of my best solo tracks have a better version with layers, but how can I deliver that? It's not really as effective unless I had a duplicate of me.
Yeah.
Damn you, Mad Twins. They are lucky. They are lucky. That's luck. That is just luck.
True.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If I could,
yeah, and
if I could duplicate,
even if you have a band, I mean, it's all humans, but then you have to teach your band members to deliver your idea at the moment, and that's a really hard part. And it's kind of like like your idea is distorted because they also adding their own vision to it, and then it's not the pureness of your idea.
I've thought of the concept of employing talented beatboxers to perform the layers that I need them to perform.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a song that has more than, like, let's say there's 2 live layers that need to be happening physically. So that would be pushing the skill level too. Let's say one is doing a melody and drums and the other is singing and adding effects. That could still theoretically be pulled off by 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought of if there's a beatboxer out there that can do the said sounds in my composition, they could theoretically be my second layer live, so I could perform my song live.
Yeah.
So I could like
a backup
employ
beatboxer.
them to be in the show, to be there making the layers with me, like a band for that track. Like, let's say
the D-Los.
The D-Los. I'm gonna leave. I'm going. That is so bad.
Oh my god.
No, but like, it could be better. For example, a track of mine, Lanny Giro. Boom, boom, boom. It could be better for me to go boom, 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 and someone else going.
Yeah, someone with a fat kick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then there's ones where I wish I had someone that could do a harmony over the top of one of my melodies and add snares to take, so I can just sing and do harmonization before I go into a big drop.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and it's
you
cool,
could even
idea.
have a choir that adds harmonies.
You could, if I wanted to make. If I wanted to make one of my compositions a whole live show, it might require 10 layers, 10 different like people or something, which is really interesting. So you're right about that. Yeah. Like a choir to do an entire harmonization over a certain melody. That's cool.
Yeah.
I know Tom Thumb did something like that with an orchestra.
Everything that's getting added is just sprinkles on what you do live, you know? Like you still do the initial solo piece, like you still perform it the way, but then there's some sprinkles on top of it.
It would be fun. It'd be tough. I'd say some of the sets I've made could be up to, I mean, some of them have like 30 layers, which is getting obscene. But realistically, redesigning it for a live show, you could do it with maybe like 8. So then you have an 8 band that are sticking to the layers that they need to do. And then the whole composition is spawned still live and still vocal. Now that's cool.
Yeah. Wow.
That's really cool. I have actually made songs, including sounds I can't do. How weird's that? Like I've made songs that would feature vibration bass or polyphonic harmonization. I can't do those 2 things. But I've actually made songs where that is the chosen sound in that part.
Damn.
But I can't do it.
Yeah.
I need someone else to come and help me perform.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Inertia, I need you for this track.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, someone that might be a master at the sounds needed. I'm like, yo, can you come and duo this song with me?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Because for me, the thing that matters is the brain's composition. Yeah. It's like at this point, because there's so many compositions that I created, I feel like a slave to the compositions. I'm a slave and I need to bring them all out.
Yeah. Yeah. Understand. So in the future, like when you retire as a musician, you will be songwriter for other beatboxers.
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Yeah.
As far into the future, I hope.
Yeah. And talking about the beatbox big band. So maybe that's something, imagine like Vocal Masters starts to be a thing, and then 2028 you see D-Lo performing with a big band.
That's cool. It could even be it could be this one. If I had 8 people to redesign the layers,
Yeah.
I'd have to look and think about which songs could still be like organic, like where the sounds don't need to be manipulated.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple where it would take like maybe 5 or 6 people,
Yeah.
and then everyone runs their layers, maybe more actually, like 8 or 9. Everyone runs their layers, and then you hear the best version or the best take of the composition that was in my head.
Yeah.
For everyone to hear it. That sounds fun.
Wow.
A lot of work,
Yeah.
and you'd need a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Even if they're just doing hi-hats, you'd still need a lot of talent. And I know the people I'd go to. I do. I know a few, namely a lot of the UK guys. I think Hobbit and Frosty and Epos and Grey Cloud, Bass Ventura.
Yeah.
The list continues. But the ones I just named inherit the capabilities to perform live, and I think they would be able to get on board with the track and design the layers.
Yeah.
But the problem is half of them are already composers themselves. So they're already busy. They might be busy doing that too.
Yeah. It's also hard to find people who don't want to, who kind of step back, not expressing themselves, but they have to express your idea at the moment, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that exactly. If it's my song, it's like you're just good at playing beatbox, the instrument.
Yeah.
So can you just do the layer for me as good as you do
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
This way.
Yeah.
I would also, I wouldn't say no to doing it for others too.
Yeah.
If I have the skills needed for their song, I can also do the layer needed in their vision without my manipulation.
Yeah. And that's how we come back to the competitive thing. We for this, in this moment, you need to step away from the competitive thought of like, I want to be the best, but rather, but more like step into the collaborative thought of like, I want to enhance someone else's beatboxing.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. Some of the names I just gave you, they're really like, I believe they would be great examples to.
So guys, if you hear this, if Dilo just mentioned your name, reach out.
I chat to most of them anyway, but you're right. It just means like, let's be inclusive here, and let me think of somebody from the shows that we've got. Can you name the lineup again?
So it's you, Codfish.
I don't need any more. I just thought of Slizzer.
Slizzer, yes. Oh my God.
I would like, so my compositions would benefit from Slizzer's harmonization. He's more creative. He's definitely more of a composer than the instrument player, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But he's great with some layers.
And he's also,
sorry, can you say so? Go on.
He's also great in enhancing every beatboxer. Like whenever you know these draft tag team battles that happen at Vocal Total. It doesn't matter who Slizzer's teaming up. It can be the youngest prodigy. He still will make him sound good. Yeah,
he needs to be a part of the composition. He's such a composer. Yeah. So maybe not Slizzer actually.
Okay.
Can you name me some more people in the lineup again?
Codfish, Trung Bao and Chihuahua, Footbox G and Supernova, EOG, so that's Firebrass, Kim, Skuya, and Collapse. Then Spider Horse, so Gene and Chris.
Yeah.
Sin, Braz, Mr. Wobbles, Dan. Dan, I can see actually too.
Again, Den not so much because he's a composer. At this point, true. he's really enhancing it. Yeah. He's evolving as well, so he's on a journey right now.
True.
I really like the thought because it's just a personal thing, but I think both members of middle school have so many amazing textures that I'm such a massive fan of because they're one of my favorites. Like Supernova and Footbox inherit so many textures that I would love to be the version. Yeah. A lot of synths are used in my sets or my songs, and I would say, hey Supernova, you're really the guy I would love to be doing those layers of my song.
Can you for me?
Can you for me? Yeah. I like the vocal from Mr. Wobbles. So
yes,
for him to feature the singing of some of the parts. Codfish to just turn up and use some of that percussion rack, some of the bass textures. Like
he has the vibration.
That
He has the
collaborative thing would be
vibration bass that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So I'd need someone that can do it great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually in a song I'm working on as I've settled with throat bass.
Yeah.
But I can't. But ideally it would have been vibration bass. I'm still trying to learn it though.
You know who could be great for doing your percussions? Helium.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good at it.
I think Helium would be also great, like backup beatboxer, like backing your tracks up. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no there's no shame in that thought, in that concept if it ever comes to life. Yeah. I'd be a great backup beatboxer, mostly for versatility because I can do a bit of everything. There's an extremely high chance that a composer, I can do the layer they need, minus a few little things, all the new kid sounds I can't do. Yeah. But got that one now, which took me a long time, really long time.
Are you doing it in the middle or on the side? Middle. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got to be exceptional to be a backing beatbox. You have to be exceptional.
You gotta be good. You gotta be the best in like cleanliness at a certain, in certain.
You've got to also be able to run live, like run a composition live. That's also an extremely hard skill. And I can even think of a lot of top level beatboxers that are incapable of doing that. So it does require a lot. Maybe. Wow. I mean, you just inspired me a little bit in this chat. Maybe I can try and find a load of the people together and actually turn the idea into a set. Yeah. I just need to finish the composition, silly me.
Yeah. There's no boundaries, bro. In beatboxing. Yeah, you just need another beatboxer.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Like,
I got a question for you then off of that. Okay. Who is your choice if you had to only have one? Okay, so I'm aware that you create compositions, which means that you design a song. So maybe there's a harmony, a melody, drums, basses, layers, however the song is with no restriction. You have to choose one beatboxer that can be your only collaborator to back the layers up in your compositions. Who would that one be?
It's such a hard. So skill wise, like a good counter beatboxer, I would say it's maybe Inertia because he has lots of subs, or Napalm because I'm mostly lacking of sub sounds. Like I don't have like a hollow lip roll. I don't have a inward bass.
Okay. Yeah, so like that might not always be your chosen if that doesn't feature in your style. So for me, it's like the tick boxes, the criteria for my person would be I need them to be able to harmonize nice and easy and effectively and recreate as much of my sound palette as possible. Yeah. Becomes tough.
Yeah, that's really tough.
Collapse and river.
That's the biggest problem when you're the best beatboxer. To find someone who can match your skill.
No, I mean,
you imagine you know this album of DJ Khaled, Suffering from Success. That's your position.
Listen, it feels even worse for Inertia because who's going to do his stuff for him?
Oh my God, yes.
Like, my sound palette happens to be original and unique, which means that there's not many people that could pull off the sounds I can do. So that's tough. But that's fine. Leave them to me. As long as somebody can do my other typical styles. That's why I said Collapse and River. Yeah. Because they're skillful and versatile. And I really like the percussion of Collapse, and I really like the versatility and the harmonization of River. So those guys would be up there for me. I really like Hobbit as a utility man with incredible drums and incredible ability to land patterns and flows, compositions. Yeah. Like really, and if you wanted some wow factor, Like if you really wanted some wow sound factors, you'd get Pash up there.
Yes.
And just do those obscene sounds.
Oh my God. He's a great backup beatboxer.
Oh, he kind
of is for Mad Twins. Like I see Jayton as the lead singer and Pash is the bassist and drummer.
Yeah, I think with him it's like, so now I'm thinking of the definitely UK rap culture, but also producers and rappers and singers. In the music world, it's extremely typical nowadays that the vocalizer, that's their only role. And they're employing producers and buying beats basically to rap over, or another artist is making the composition whilst they sing or rap over it. And there's actually artists in the production. There's a guy from the UK called Fumes, the engineer, who's one of the best guys to turn up and get one of the beats off because he makes beats. He's the ultimate backup producer that people want to go to get a bit of his flavor. And that's what Pash reminds me of, is like he would be the ultimate person to employ because he's the only one that can do what he's doing. So if you want that flavor in your song, you can only go to Pash.
Yes.
And there's a serious, unique job there, really, which is cool.
Damn, he's the Timberland of beatboxing. Like Timberland used to be the one every rapper or R&B singer wanted to have a beat from.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So that's cool. Again, all comes down to the massive variety of the instrument of beatbox. Whatever you want to do with it. There's so many outlets.
Wow. So now we discovered what something like Vocal Masters is great for. Do exactly stuff like this.
Yeah.
You can't do this on a battle, but you can on a festival.
A battle is currently restricted. That is true.
Yeah. Damn.
There is you just turn up and battle.
Yeah. Or like there's different categories, right? Like tag team, whatever. But on a festival where you have all the freedom to bring whoever you want or include any instrument that you want, like you have the ability to create like your own show like that. You don't have the restrictions where you only can use this machine, you only can perform alone, you have to have a tag team partner, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's true. There should be a lot of great variety, so catch those artists in their performance form next year.
Yeah, sick. We found the unique selling point for Vocal Masters. How to evolve that concept even more in the next year. So next year it's going to be like the pureness of your favorite battlers, let's say, or your favorite beatboxers on stage, and then the years after you're gonna witness like the evolution of them, including even more into their styles.
Well, the silly thing for us as beatboxers is like we were not taught wrong, but we were pretty. I've been feral. Do you know that word, feral? Feral is wild, like a wild animal. Yeah. So a feral cat is a cat that has no owner in the street. Yeah. So we've been feral. I've been feral in the beatbox or music world because I've created compositions, completed them and shown them in a battle. Yeah. I've never released them. Yeah. So in hindsight, I would have composed my song, released it, and then performed it as it probably should be. But here we are 6 years later from the GBB 18, where I did some of the hits. 6 years later, I'll probably release them.
Yeah, damn.
Such a backwards thing.
Yeah, it's a similar thing with Footbox. He's coming to my place in 2 weeks to record all his tracks.
Sick. Busy times. You've only just moved. Yeah. Wow, that's going to be busy for you, man.
But I'm happy to do that. Like I really want to help him. And like maybe you didn't know, but like the starting time of Footbox, I was exchanging a lot with him. Like he would text me on WhatsApp. This is how it was starting. Like he was sending me a video of himself and asking me to put it on Swiss Beatbox. Yeah, and I was giving him some feedback, and he was redoing the video. And after this, like I think for a period of 2 or 3 years, he would occasionally send me like some recordings and ask me for feedback. I would give him feedback, and it worked like this all the time. And then at one point, it was kind of like, holy shit, this guy. I can't, like he was overgrowing me, you know. Like he's,
I
know
get
what
it,
I
yeah.
mean?
Well, you've helped it, so that's amazing.
So, but at
cool.
the same time, I'm really proud, you know, like that he evolved so much, and like some of the ideas that I gave to him, he's executing now way better than me, you know. So it's also kind of like the thing you said, like I had ideas in my head, but I couldn't execute it myself. But I was giving it to him, and now he's doing it, and he evolved these ideas, and this is like, it feels so amazing. And now it's kind of like we're coming back to the state where like he comes to my place and re-recording his tracks, and I'm gonna also help him in the recording process, you know.
That's really sick, man.
So,
and it sounds to me like there's a well-built backup for any of your ideas now as well.
Yeah.
Like about that, like the chat, if you make a composition, or Footbox is like the ultimate AI machine of doing some of the layers that you might need. That's cool. Yeah, sick, man. I'm not lying with Hobbit. Like he would be probably the first person I'd pick. He's perfect. He's the ultimate you would want on next to you on a stage. He will do everything. He will take a lot of the pressure into his performance, and he will deliver everything so well live. Damn, he's a good one.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
If I had time, I would try and do it for this Vocal Masters, to try and get a few together and design one of these compositions live, which is fun, because that's basically crew, but it's not crew to battle, and it's not crew to please the crowd. It's crew to deliver my song, just the song with its layers.
Yeah, and it's still you.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be tiny little subtextures that are different from the people that are performing with me, which is actually cool. It's really cool. You caught me at this show next year in a transition stage. So I again now, right as we speak, I don't actually know how the show will look. I just know that worst comes to worst, I turn up as I do and do my best version of solo songs with some show aspects. Might even take my wheel on the stage.
Oh, really?
Big wheel. Why not? That'd be cool. Yeah. I'd definitely do something like that, yeah.
Dope.
Maybe call everyone out, say, do you want to battle me? Come on then. Let's go.
Anyone here? Even you judges. Oh my God. You told me this once. You said you have to finish the track on the spot. When you have the idea, you have to finish it in the moment. And
that finish the idea, I still try to live by that philosophy. It is hard, but it is the way. Yeah. If you have the idea, you will sleep on it for years. So do it there and then. You're in the creative zone. You've got to finish it. You're right. I'm going to try and take that advice again. Yeah. The backward and forward advice.
Yeah, exactly. Because I actually tried to use this advice a lot, and it helps. Yeah, it was a great advice of you.
Ah, sick. Yeah. Wow. Appreciate, and it is a good one. I should probably try to remember it. It's tough.
Trying to re-inspire you.
And also, I back you with what you just said. If you're going off of that philosophy, then lyrics then becomes the hardest part. Because it's hard to force them out in the moment. Composing, arranging, developing, advancing, you can do that in the moment, but the lyrics, they could take time.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Cool,
man. Good
chat.
You
can chat with ChatGPT. That's what I sometimes do for.
Never for me. No? Not for me. It would take over my creative flow. I think I'd get hooked, and then it's a good thing.
Yeah, but it can be
beneficial.
Like, yo, ChatGPT, I'm searching for a rhyme on this.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, if you're hunting for rhymes, because you got to pick. Yeah, I like that. Because you got.
I need a synonym for this word. I don't like this word because it has too many syllables. Give me a synonym. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a dictionary. Point. Use it as a dictionary, not as a.
Oh, that's a good point. I would be more against getting the AI to generate my lyrics.
No, yeah.
Because I didn't create them, then I won't believe them.
Use it as a dictionary.
It's a good idea, yeah. I like that. Some of them are hard because my voice is restricted. That's another thing.
Yeah.
My singing ability is climbing, it's improving, but some of the songs are at the cusp of my ability, so I'm still trying to change them to fit and adapt. I don't want to reach too far.
But some of the greatest singers, they have maybe 1 octave of range. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, Drake has probably 3 notes.
Yes, exactly.
Range that he uses. But
Or like
It's a big
Billie Eilish, she has a big range, but sometimes she doesn't even.
She just sits up in her high register and sings there because people love it, and she obviously loves it.
Yeah, or
cool.
some songs are like in the lowest octave and just there, you know, that she can sing.
Yeah, she goes down in her.
That's it.
Octave. You're right.
So, use what you have.
But that's a very similar-y style. Like again, it all comes down to the intention. I intend to be various, definitely.
Okay, bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool. And I will then see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Good chat.
Okay, bro.
See you later,
Thank
bro.
you so much.
Bye-bye.